Hey guys, Mark McMahon Real Estate, talking about flip math today. Math isn't very exciting, but I hope you stick around. You'll learn a valuable lesson, and you'll also learn how not to screw yourself. Isn't that great? All right, guys, if that's interesting, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and sign up for notifications. Allie loves to see that. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get right into Flip Math 101. A lot of people do math different ways for flips. There is only two ways to do math for flips. There's the right way, and then there's the wrong way. The wrong way doesn't include all your expenses because you're so excited about your first flip, you're willing to leave a few expenses out because you think you might not have to pay for them. But I'm here to tell you, you will have to pay for them and more. So make sure and follow all the way through. Now, a lot of people will use a spreadsheet to do this. I don't. I use what I'm going to show you. I would suggest in the beginning you do use a spreadsheet, you do use a formula because it makes it that much easier for you. But when you get to the point where I'm 12 years later and I've done this, I don't know how many thousands of times, you don't really need to do it. It takes about 2 or 3 minutes and you're done. So let's kind of go over it, and I'll kind of tell you where people screw up and where people fall down and where people end up losing money. All right, so let's assume we're buying this crappy house for $300,000. Now, if you're in a different part of the country where $300,000 would buy you a really, really nice house, great. Where I'm at, $300,000 doesn't buy much just because of the California economy. Let's assume that we have a $450,000 ARV. ARV stands for after repair value, or ARV. That is what that house is going to be worth after you've done all your repairs and you put it on the market. All right? So we have $150,000 between here and here to get our job done, pay for all of our expenses, and extract profit. So let me show you how we do that, and let me show you where things might go bad for you, okay? Let's go over that. Let's go over that, shall we? It's fun, isn't it? I'm having fun. Allie, are you having fun?
So much fun.
See, everybody's having fun. Are you having fun out there? All right. HGTV is an awesome thing. It really got Yuko and I going to begin with. We didn't know what we were watching. We heard about this flipping thing. We saw it on HGTV and it was super cool. HGTV and whatever other channels it's on. This is many years ago, 12 years ago. But the way they do it, and maybe they do it different now. I don't know. I haven't watched it in years and years and years. But the way they used to do it, they didn't always put in all the expenses that exist on a real estate deal. They'd say, oh, we bought it for $500,000. We put $100,000 in it. We sold it for $700,000 and we made $100,000. Isn't that great? And I'd go, yeah, that's pretty cool, man. But they didn't put all the expenses in that exist. So I call this our HGTV flip. All right? Do I need to explain it? I'm going to anyway. All right. Buy it for $450. I'm sorry, buy it for $300. ARV of $450 leaves you $150,000. Let's say that the repairs are $75,000. That leaves you with a whopping $75,000 profit at the end. You can retire early with that, right? Okay. HGTV versus goddamn reality. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the reality of flipping. Not to mention the fact that you may lose your hair or it may turn gray. I don't know. Allie's only 7 years old and look at her.
7 years old?
I don't know. I'm just trying to comparison with me because I'm 32 and this is what I look like after flipping for 12 years. No, I'm just joking. Flipping's not that bad. All right, so purchase of $300,000. Doing good so far, right? Our rehab was $75,000. We have holding, which is utilities, property taxes. See, here's one of the things people forget. While you own this property, if you own it for 4, 5, 6 months, you got to pay the property taxes. You got to pay the electricity, the gas, the sewer, the trash, the water, a porta potty. You got to pay for all kinds of things. I'm not accounting for very much money here. These aren't real numbers. We're just throwing it together just to give you an idea. Figure out what those numbers are going to be, though, guys. That could be your profit. You know, on a big rehab, your holding costs could be $10,000, $15,000, $20,000. Make sure and put that in. All right, closing costs. Usually 1% of the purchase price. People don't put that in either, even though it's even right there on the net sheet. They don't put it in. So, but find out what your closing costs are and put the actual closing costs in there. This is just a guess. Might be 1%. Some areas it might be 1.5%. You got to know what it is going into it. All right. So we have to borrow this, and this, right? Because we got to do all of this. So let's say we borrow $381,000. And just for fun, just to make it easy, let's say we're borrowing money for 6 months, because it's going to take 3 or 4 months to get the project done, and then take another month or two for you to sell it. Let's say you got to do this for 6 months. So you're borrowing $381,000. Your interest is 10%. 6-month period of time comes to $19,000. Make sure you have enough time frame here. I know your Uncle Joe says he's the best damn contractor this side of Methuselah, Missouri. Is that a city?
I don't know.
I'm so sorry I butchered that. Anyway, somewhere in Missouri, he's probably the best contractor there is. But he's slow. He's real slow. He said he was fast, but he's not. Make sure that you know that it's going to take longer than you think. If you've ever remodeled your house or seen someone remodel their house, it always costs more and it always takes longer. All right, so make sure this number is correct and make sure your holding time is correct. All right, so 10%, 6 months, 19 grand. Easy number. Selling cost. I'm only putting 4%. I'm a real estate agent. So I'm paying the agent that brings the buyer. When I list the house on the market, I'm paying the agent that brings the buyer 2.5%. All right, then I've got closing costs again. When I sell it, on the sell side, of at least 1%. But a couple of other things, write this down, guys. Take a screenshot of this, but write this down. A couple of other costs that can be in here, maybe you have to list it with a real estate agent and you have to give them a commission, right? So that commission could be another 2.5%, depending on your area. So now we have 5% in commissions. We got at least 1% in closing costs, which would bring us to 6%. And then we have little things like maybe termite, which I usually put up here in the rehab, but you never know. You'll go do a termite inspection and the termite guy might say, yeah, we got $5,000 in repairs that have to be done and we got to tint it. Now you're out $7,000, $8,000 more. Guys, you got to make sure that you know all that stuff going into it. You can have a termite inspection when you buy it so that you know, and then you'll know up front. All right, so that's your selling costs. $18,000 at 4%. Closing costs at 1%. All right, I put that in here, sorry. But yeah, okay, 1%, $5,000. That's $423,000. We're all agreeing on the math here, right? So the ARV of 450 minus 423 leaves you $27,000. Decent profit, guys. That's nothing to sneeze at. But it's not the $75,000 that HGTV would have you believe. So make sure, guys, know your flip math. Absolutely know your flip math. And if you didn't get a screenshot of this, please do a screenshot of this. This is just an outline. I want you guys to crunch your numbers really, really good. I can do this really fast now because I do it all the time. I know exactly what my numbers are for everything. You don't, more than likely. So make sure and come up with a list of things that cost, of costs. Make sure that you know exactly what everything costs so that you can plug those numbers in. And again, we use a spreadsheet. We used a spreadsheet at the beginning. We have that spreadsheet still, and everybody that's new here uses it. I don't give it out, but that's what we use. And once you get down to a year or so of flipping, you'll be able to do this. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them down below. Make sure and download my list on how to buy your first house so you can get started on buy and hold. Because remember, flipping is just a paycheck. Buy and hold is a paycheck forever. Okay, don't ever forget that. I'm working for a living here. My buy and hold properties, that's residual income that just keeps coming year after year. That's the goal. Download the list and start working on those steps. Even if you don't have any money, guys, doesn't matter, download it. All right? Thank you so much for being here. Please hit the like button, please subscribe, sign up for notifications, and I will see you next time. Hey guys, check out these 2 videos. They're really gonna help you on your investment journey. I'm also on Instagram, tons of great video content there, really good stuff. Please subscribe. I'll see you next time.